Child's Play from 1988. What's up, guys? Welcome to Cinema with Mike, and today I'm gonna be reacting to / reviewing the original Child's Play film. And the reason I'm doing this is because obviously there's a new Chucky film in the works, and hopefully it comes out by next year. And you know, I'm just super hyped and ready for that film and excited. So I'm just gonna be reviewing / reacting to all the films that came before it and the TV show. I'll probably do all the films in like this month, but the TV show reviews are probably gonna come out in the next, few months or down the road, because I don't want to do all this right now because obviously the film isn't coming out anytime soon. So the films, my reviews for the films will come out, in the next few weeks. But getting into Child's Play, this film is the reason that I love the franchise, because it was the first one I saw, and I had this memory. So a little bit of lore right now. So basically, when I was younger, I think I was 2, 3, 4, maybe, I don't know how I even remember this, but basically I was with my family in the living room. We were watching this film, and the scene where Andy's mom is holding up the doll, Chucky, and he starts attacking her, and then she looks under the bed. That was what freaked me out. I ran out of the room crying, and ever since I just wanted to watch the films to when I was younger, I wanted to watch the films to show how much braver I got. And it took me a while when I was younger, but then it was like an achievement when I finally watched all them, and then I just fell in love with them. So I hope that this new Chucky film, is scary, because I want kids to go through the same thing I did. Not like the trauma. Like, I didn't have trauma, I still like the film. But you know what I mean? Like, when you're younger, you try to build up the confidence to see a film that you were once afraid of, or you are afraid of. I think that would be great if the new film took that approach. And I love that. And that's what I love about this film, because this really is the scariest Chucky film. And not because of the jump scares, but because of the overall story, and that it's a doll, and the look of Chucky is just scary on this. But let's click play on Child's Play from 1988. So Charles Lee Ray is running down an alley from Detective Mike Norris, trying to kill him or bring him to jail. And once he gets shot, his buddy, I forget his name, Eddie Caputo. Yep, his buddy Eddie Caputo was supposed to be his getaway vehicle, but he got away, but without his homeboy. So basically, Charles Lee Ray lost a friend that day. Sadly, that's not the worst thing that happened. So he got shot, runs into this play store, like toy store, and basically he's bleeding out. He knows he's gonna die, and he knows he needs to find somebody to switch his soul with. But since he knew he was gonna die quickly, he came across the good guy doll, also known as the Chucky doll. And basically, he swapped his soul through voodoo magic, and all the commotion from that, all the the storm and just the overall voodoo magic made the place blow up, which is a little confusing after watching the sequels, but it's cool for the atmosphere, and it's cool for the way that Andy's mother gets the doll, because the guy robbed the place, and yada yada yada. And yeah, I think that was a great way to open it, with a bang, legit.
Oh shit.
And I think that was just the perfect opening, especially for a film like this. And then we get to meet the character of Andy, and obviously Andy is one of the most likable and relatable characters in the franchise because we saw him, get excited for his new toy on his birthday and make breakfast for his mom and look at the presents and sink and think that it was a Chucky doll or not good guy doll. And which was something that I could relate to and a lot of people could relate to. It ended up being a box of clothes. And that's just something you can relate to as a kid. And I really enjoyed that they did that part. And then once Andy's mother gets the doll, the Chucky doll, he's happy again and then he gets the doll that he wanted, and we've all been through that. And that's just some good relatable things that go on throughout the film. And that's what makes you enjoy watching it and makes you like the characters. And I like that. And then after that, we get the first kill scene when Andy's aunt, forgot her name, gets thrown out of the building. Multiple stories high. And lands on a car. And it's just like so gruesome. Cause she wasn't like she was a likable character, I guess you can say. And she got a pretty gruesome death. Thrown out of a building is a little crazy.
No.
But again, that sets the tone for the franchise and the film. So it definitely worked. And then after that, obviously, Detective Mike Norris comes by, notices that there's footprints on the table. And obviously, he doesn't want to say this exactly to Andy's mother, but he suspects that maybe Andy did it. And, that's a great little mind mess up. Like you start to think, maybe Andy did do it. Because we didn't see Chucky. And obviously Andy didn't do it, but you can think that way. I've never heard anybody think that way, but you can. And I love that. I love that part of it. It's a little, psychological thing. After that, obviously, Andy gets away, goes to see Eddie Caputo because Chucky makes him go on this train alone, which is a little crazy, but it's obviously a film. And it was the 80s. So, after that, Chucky gets revenge on Eddie Caputo, blows up his house. And I love everything they did with that. Showing that, oh yeah, Chucky doesn't need to really do anything. Because, remember, Eddie Caputo shot like his oven or whatever. And it blew up the house and killed him. And it's not like Chucky stabbed him, And I like that part of it. More like technical stuff with that, other than just, oh yeah, another serial killer that just stabs people with a knife. And obviously Chucky does that, but he has way more creative kills other than these other horror slashers, And that's what I really like about him. And obviously, Andy's mom tries to get Chucky to speak to her. And she notices that there's no batteries in the doll because obviously Chucky's been talking to her as not actually Chucky, but the robot. And she notices that there's no batteries in him. And he starts attacking her, which honestly, bro, I laugh every time I see that. Because bro, what he says is a little crazy. But it's super funny. And that's a little good comedic element, especially for when you're older. When you're younger, you're terrified. When you're older, you're laughing. That's what's good about it, And, I forgot to say, but Andy was at this mental institute, I guess you can say. He was taken away, and then the mother shows that she got bitten in the arm by Chucky. Detective Norris thinks that she bit herself, which, we all been there, No. But yeah, she, then they start to suspect her as the killer, which is another good element. Not that they said that she's a killer, but, that she's losing her mind. And I like that element of it. And then Chucky starts being real talkative. And that's what when you set up a whole film of Chucky not talking and then just switch to Chucky talking for the rest of the film is great. Because it's like building up to something and then they just do it perfectly throughout the whole rest of the film. And I love that part. And then obviously Detective Norris gets stabbed while he's driving. It's a little suggestive, sus, but I'm not here to judge, It's a Chucky killer doll. And, crashes, car flips over. He shoots Chucky, and Chucky starts bleeding. So Chucky knows he needs to find Andy to swap his soul. And once he does, obviously, he goes to the institution where Andy was and tries to find him and ends up killing one of the, teachers, workers there, I don't know. And it's a sick kill. He gets this thing wrapped around him, bleeding out the eyes. It's pretty insane. I don't know if I can even show it, but it's pretty crazy. And obviously after that, they return to Andy's house. Chucky gets thrown in the fire. And, he gets burnt. And I love how Chucky looks getting out of that fire. And then, obviously, he slices Detective Norris in the leg. I don't know if this is before or after. I'm just thinking. I watched this last night. And basically, Chucky just starts attacking them. And then I love the part where he gets shot. His limbs start flying off. And then Chucky says I'm your friend to the end. I don't know what he said, but it's like a really nice closing of a chapter type thing. Because it wasn't actually Chucky. Because he was saying it. And then it went to the robotic mode. And then it just kept stretching out. And I love that part.
I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
And that was just a great element. And then the film ends with a freeze frame shot of Andy. And, watching it, looking back at it now, it's a little cringe. But for the time being, it was a good way to end a film like that, I guess. How else would you end it? So, I'm going to give this film, not for nostalgia purposes, just for overall critical, I'll probably say 7 out of 10. It did its job, I think that it's a perfect Chucky film. But it's really just setting the standards, building characters, building Chucky as a character. And yeah. But let me know what you guys thought about this review. Let me know if you guys want to see more reviews like this for other franchises. And yeah, my name is Mike. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.